Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Rockwood. This is their part number BF259 is what this is. This is an offset pull handle. Not much to this in the sense that it's just a pull handle. However, it does happen to be a little bit longer than average, with this being 18-inch centers, but it's also offset. So it's offset from the vertical center line, okay, to this dimension. It's also 18-inch center to center, okay, and those two facts conspire to tell me a little bit more about the door. First of all, it's probably a taller door, 8 foot, 9 foot tall. You're not going to put a 12-inch. You put a 12-inch on a 7-foot door. If you're going to an 8-foot door, you might want to stretch that out a little bit to make it look more proportional. The offset, though, is also interesting. And what I mean by that is if you ever take a trip through the mall and you look at all the handles, because the malls nowadays are outside malls. When I was a child, all the malls were indoor malls. But nonetheless, indoor-outdoor, they have pull handles on those doors. And you'll notice some of them are just straight pulls. And if you be mindful, if you take a moment and look at where the cylinder is for the lock, you'll notice that there's a lot of times where there's a conflict because that pull comes straight down and you don't have much room to turn the key. Offset pulls are used to get the hardware out of the way of the access to the locking cylinder. So that's why you'll see offset. Maybe for aesthetic reasons as well. It's a nice looking pull when it's offset. But nonetheless, that's what those two components tell me about this door. Probably taller than average, certainly going to have a lock cylinder because I can get my hand in this space a little bit better, okay, because we've offset it. So the BF part of the part number means barrier free. What does that mean? Well, it means that it is a 2.5-inch clearance from the edge of from the face of the door to the inside of the pole is 2.5. This being a BF159, that means that this bar stock is 1 inch in diameter, so it's going to be 3.5-inch projection, 1-inch bar stock. (18-inch center to center, as we can see. Okay. The other dimension is what is the offset. We can measure that as well. Total offset appears to be, probably going to be about 3.5 as well. Let me see if I can measure that a little more accurately here. Oh yeah, it's going to be 3.5. So you're really going to have sorry, I just gave you the same dimension. Wait a minute. Overall offset here. Maybe about 4-inch. Let's take a look. As I'm giving that to you, I'm saying, wait a minute, what am I measuring? Yeah, I'd say about 3.5 inches as well. From the center of the bolt out to here. So it's quite close to the same dimension, if not the same dimension completely. This is in the 628 finish. That means two things. It means it's made of that it's made of aluminum and that it has a clear anodized finish on it. This client has purchased just one pull, so they probably have a single door that is, or they're replacing one. Although when you have a pair of doors, you might want to replace them both together only because this has a nice new finish. You're replacing one of a pair, you're going to have a disparity in terms of the finish on each of the two poles. This is a Type 1 mount is how this client has ordered this, which means it's a through bolt. Actually, no, that's not correct. They ordered this Type 1 HD, and while it's still a through bolt, I was about to tell you the size. This is a 5/16 18 size bolt, so a heavier than standard bolt option on that. And having that Type 1 mount is, the Type 1 HD mount is a really great option because it's a thicker bolt. Rockwood will do 1/4 20, they'll do 5/16 18, and then 3/8 16 in terms of diameters. The thickest that you can use, the better. These bolt packages do break, they do get broken, they get abused and vandalized. And I say that, the reason I say that is because the amount of replacement bolts that we sell, they're always the smaller ones. Makes sense because you sell almost always the smaller bolts when you sell pull handles, but nonetheless the bottom line is how many of those thicker diameter bolt pull handles like this are we selling replacement bolts? I know that it's a much smaller statistical number. Let's switch to the screen view and take a look at some supporting documentation. Okay, so here is the item that we are looking at, the BF159 in a 628 finish. Now, the Rockwood BF159, that can be done in a whole mess of different finish options. Let's take a look at that now. Let's try that differently. So, in finishes, the ones we have listed would be a powder-coated oil rub bronze equivalent. We have a polished type 316 stainless. We have a solid brass, a satin brass, pardon me. We have a polished brass, a satin brass, a satin bronze, an oil rub bronze, polished chrome, satin chrome, aluminum, the 628. 629 is polished stainless, that'd be a type 304. 630 is satin stainless. A 710 is a dark bronze anodized aluminum. 711 is black anodized aluminum. BSP is black suede powder coat. Stainless satin 316. Stainless satin with a micro shield, which is a coating basically on the stainless that substantially helps works to retard the growth of bacteria, fungus, mildew, the transmission of virus, things of that nature. So naturally, living in the year 2020 right now, the micro shield has certainly seen a substantial increase in scrutiny in terms of people considering it. Now, of all of these finishes, these are not representative of what Rockwood can do. You want antique nickel? They can do that. You want polished bronze? They can do that. You want white powder coat? They can do that. So if you've got a finish that you want, I can tell you that if Rockwood possesses the machinery to do it themselves, they will happily oblige. Extended description information down here, 90-degree offset, 1-inch diameter, 18-inch center to center, naturally 19-inch. Clearance and projection. Offset is 4-inch, and so that jives with what I was coming up with, a total offset from the outside here to here. I had come up with 3.5 from here to here, as well as 3.5 from here to here, basically, the clearance dimension. Okay, so offset 4-inch minus half of 1-inch diameter would equal the same as the projection. A handing chart, that's nice to know. We ask that you tell us the handing. Some people might say, well, the handing doesn't matter. I can flip the pull handle over. Sure, you can. I do like to encourage, and the reason we like to know the handing is because, again, you can flip it over, but I like the factory to put the set screw towards the bottom of the pull handle. Well, if you order it right-hand reverse and it's a left-hand reverse, if they put the set screw where I would like for them to put it, you would have, of course, your set screws on the top. Now, I can't, and I do not dictate to the factory where they place the set screw, but my concept, my logic, my intent of providing the handings that those set screws can be located in the least conspicuous place, but the factory is not obligated to put them anywhere other than their standard. Handing, mounting type. Now, these are all the different mount types. You can come down here to product brochure, and you can review some pretty common pulls. Now, you'll find that the sizes we have listed in the site are not restricted or limited to only what's here, but you'll see additional information about other sizes, how that part number changes as well. Red powder coat, black powder coat, that can be done. Recommended for ADA or Americans with Disabilities Act compliant style openings. So very handy. And then more information on the mounting options are here as well. And here on this page is where you will get a nice clear view of what's happening in terms of mounting types. Through bolts can be done with either the standard countersunk washer or a decorative cap. The size available, the different diameters are available, are listed here. Same thing as a type 12, except it's for thin, like a piece of glass or something very thin. But it's important to order it type 15 if you have glass, because they'll give you some extra material like the bushing and the rubber washer. Surface concealed, back-to-back heavy duty. Glass. There are other mount types that are here as well. They can do a surface concealed for a wood door. They can do a type 5, which would be a back-to-back, which would be a single cone head bolt sort of scenario, etc. So lots of mounting options available to us when it comes to getting this material mounted correctly. Okay, options there. Now, let's see here now. We've discussed both of the documents. We've looked at the handing chart. If there are any questions on the handing chart, please feel free to reach out to us. We talked about the different finishes. Now, the link here below this video, that link, when it loads, it's going to allow us to review not only all of the Rockwood products that we sell, but it's also going to allow us to review a link to their website, the full line catalog as it pertains to their core line, trim and auxiliary hardware. They also have their architectural door pull catalog, and I believe the BF159 won't be in this catalog. It will be in the core product catalog, the full line catalog. Control F, BF159. You'll find all of the instances of where it does indeed show up. Okay, but that architectural door pull catalog, that's awfully handy, because if you're looking for door pulls, here's 100+ pages of near countless variations on the theme. Architectural base materials, stainless, brass, bronze, aluminum, leather wrapped, wood infused, a variety of different finish options, rubber wrapped as well. Why would you want to pull wrapped in rubber? Well, if you're in the American Southwest in August and you haven't seen rain in 90 days, that pull handle is going to be baking in the sun by the time you pull on it at 2:30 in the afternoon. So having a Santoprene wrapped pull or a leather wrapped pull is why they do that. Other than the aesthetics of it, that's why you would do that. Very, very nice material from Rockwood. Rockwood is exceptional, and here is that rubber material. Rockwood is exceptional when it comes to prompt, reliable, predictable shipping lead times. They can be counted on sticking to a well-organized manufacturing process. Let's wrap up this video on camera. In conclusion, nice quality pull handle, even though it's just a piece of bar stock aluminum, but it's nice quality. It's not at all reflective of Rockwood's capabilities when it comes to custom requests. I alluded to it earlier when it came to finishes, but you're really going to want to keep your mind open and available to considering Rockwood as a source if you have things that are truly custom in nature, or there's a marketing release from Assa Abloy, who has part of their component companies, in addition to Rockwood, her sister companies would be Sargent and McKinney and Yale and Corbin Russwin and Pemco and Adams Wright and several others, where they've basically said, in particular regarding lever trim for mortise locks, you can sketch it out, send it to us, we'll be happy to take a look at it. Rockwood has that same practically eager, they have that same willingness to be able to accommodate those requests. Any questions on the BF 159 and an 18-inch center to center or any other Rockwood product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. If you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please click subscribe as well, and even share the video with someone that you know. And if you have any questions for a future video, please send them our way and we will make every attempt to oblige. And thank you very much.